Welcome back to Strategy Saturdays. This is your new favorite series where we unpack, rebuild, and completely rethink your content strategy. This isn't fluff. This is where a podcast meets a masterclass. I'm dropping real, actionable gems that you can use in your content strategy right now. I'm your host, Brianna, and I have spent years helping creators and businesses grow their brand, reach an authentic audience, monetize their account, and make passive income. So today we're tackling something massive. We're going to break down how to reset your content strategy in 2025. We're moving away from making content that feels forced or performative. And we're moving towards something that's real, something that's authentic, something that's going to make your audience want to stick around because they love you. It doesn't matter what you post. So let's set the stage a little bit. If your content feels stale and your audience isn't biting anymore and you feel like you're saying the same thing 37 different ways and you're just tired of it, congratulations. You are experiencing the leading edge of content fatigue. And in reality, audiences have changed. They're tired of feeling like they're constantly being sold something. They're over the sense of fake urgency, the scarcity tactics. No, the whole drop your favorite emoji in the comments that feels more like manipulation than it does a call for engagement. Think about it. When was the last time a good sales pitch captivated you? Probably never. But when was the last time you heard a good story? Now, a good story will always stick with you. It'll also help you build trust. Human beings are wired to hear a good story. That's how we make sense of everything that's going on in the world. It's how we connect. And if your content strategy doesn't have a narration at heart, then it's just sitting there fighting against human nature, which in turn is why your views are low, The old way is broken. The whole post 3 times a day and cross your fingers and hope you're going to go viral is just so outdated. And then the whole rigid, I need to only post what's in my niche type of narrative is what's pushing your audience away. People nowadays want to see dynamic content creators. We want to talk about something new every single week. We don't want to talk about the same thing over and over. People want a story. They want a vibe. They want a connection. And ultimately, they just want a reason to care. So how do we fix that? We need a full reset, babes. So in this reset, we're going to rework 4 different parts of your content foundation. We're going to rebuild your framework that shifts you from selling to connecting through your narrative. And here's the first and arguably biggest shift that we need to make. So let me be super blunt again. Forget content pillars. All you need is a story theme. Why? Because content pillars are going to box you in. They make you feel stressed about whether that skincare video fits into your beauty content pillar or your lifestyle content pillar. Baby, no, we're not building a brand that's literally just a to-do list of topics. We're building a narrative that people can follow and essentially like a world that they can immerse themselves in. So let's do an exercise. I want you to think about your favorite TV series. You don't watch it because it hits specific pillar points every single episode. You watch it because you're interested in the characters and the overarching plot. So instead of asking yourself, what category does this post fit under? What you really want to answer is, how does this post reinforce my bigger storyline? Your brand's core story, its origin, its values, whatever mission you're on. This acts like your underlying theme. It's the main idea or message that weaves throughout all of your videos. So let's say your story theme is what it looks like to choose joy after a divorce or after a harsh relationship breakup. It's not a rigid pillar like self-care or dating or finance. It's more like a lifestyle arc. It has a character, which could be you or your audience as a hero. And then that character is facing a challenge, life after divorce. But that character is also working towards a resolution, which would be choosing joy. So under that massive freeing story umbrella, you can make so many different sub-content topics about. You can post anything that relates back to that theme. You can post your skincare routine. That's a form of self-care. Self-care is your investment into trying to find that joy that you mentioned before. You can do a book recap and showcase the books that helped you heal your inner self. That type of content, once again, goes back to the whole supporting, like, finding joy narrative. You can also make a dating series where you're putting yourself back in the market. Once again, this all goes back to that big arc. Do you see how all three of those are seem to be random content ideas, but not necessarily when you look at the big umbrella of finding joy after a relationship? See, we're literally talking about the same character. We're talking about the same energy. It's just way more freedom to be a full complex person whose life is the content and not just segmented topics. And this continuous narrative is what builds loyalty over time. So now that you have your story theme, let's talk about getting people into that story. And that's what brings us to the second shift. This one is critical because too many creators are trying to shock their audience into watching their videos instead of just inviting them in. Think about it. Just a few years ago, we were using fear-based tactics in our introductions to get people to watch our videos. We would say something like, this skincare mistake is ruining your face and no one's talking about it. And now that I say that out loud, it's kind of, girl, what? I would scroll past that now so fast. So instead of using outdated tactics like that, a great storytelling hook to help drive your arc would be, I didn't realize my skincare routine was making my skin worse until I saw this side-by-side comparison. This style of hook is more curiosity-based, and it's also inviting your audience in by having that self-revelation in the beginning. Do you see the difference? One is super defensive and practically yelling at you, while the other leans into sharing a personal moment and sparking that curiosity. Curiosity is what gives you views without your audience feeling like they're being threatened. So when you're scripting your videos, ask yourself, is this hook created in fear or curiosity? Curiosity should be the answer every time. So here are 3 story-driven hook formats that I want you guys to try out in your content next week. 1, I used to think blank and then this happened. This is going to highlight a personal transformation or a realization. 2, here's what I wish somebody would have told me before blank happened. This is going to position you as a helpful guide because what you're doing is you're sharing lessons that you learned from a challenge that majority of people can face. 3 is you're not crazy for feeling blank, and here's why. This is going to validate the pain point of your audience while also providing a solution for them. So they're more likely to stick around for the entire video. These hooks are built on relatable experiences and emotions that by drawing your audience in by speaking to their journey, their pain points, their struggles, and ultimately their desires. So they're hooked, they're curious. And now what are you actually going to say? And this is our third shift. So if your talking points feel scripted, overly rehearsed, or they sound like you're instantly trying to sell something, people are not going to stick around to your videos. If it doesn't sound authentic, they are going to go. And the new age of social media, authenticity trumps all. So let's go back to a client example of mine. I've been working with this creator who does fashion content for women over 40. Her visuals were stunning. Her wardrobe was freaking killer. But her talking points, babes, when I tell you, her videos sounded like she was just reading off the Amazon product description. I'm talking 0 personality, 0 story. I had to keep it real with her. While you have the visuals on point, people aren't following you because you're not really giving them a reason to. We can find bomb outfits on Pinterest. That doesn't mean we're going to follow that Pinterest creator on other social media platforms. So I had to create a storytelling formula for her talking points, and I'm going to share that with you guys as well. So first thing you're going to do, you're going to start off with a feeling, an emotion, or your initial state. So for her, that could look like something like, I used to avoid wide leg pants at all costs. Because what that does is it instantly taps into empathy. And then after that, you're going to layer the moment by adding context to it. So to add to that sentence, you could say something like, because I didn't think that I was tall enough to pull them off. I genuinely felt like they made me look shorter and wider. At providing that context adds a more relatable detail because as somebody who's short as well, I don't feel like I can pull off wide leg points. So if I hear somebody say that, I'd be like, no, girl, cause same. And once you have that common ground and that relatability, people are going to stick around. And then you're going to end with a shift. You're going to show the transformation or the after. Going back to this example, you could say something like, now let me spoil it for you. I was completely wrong. I now own 3 of the best wide leg pants on the market. Let me show them to you. This highlights the transformation. We've already went through the emotional standpoint. We went through the relatability, and then we went through the end result. All in one talking point. So now you have me in because your video is moving. I'm feeling like this isn't just a random pointless video. It has meaning to it. It has the character, the challenge, and the transformation. The character, her. The challenge, wide leg pants for her body type. The transformation, wide leg pants actually work for her body type. And ultimately, this story builds trust because it has that vulnerability aspect to it. Your talking points should reveal your journey. Your talking points should reveal your personality, your values, and ultimately the journey behind the information that you're sharing. It's going to showcase why you're pressing record and talking about this topic to begin with. So now we've got them hooked. You've shared your soul through your talking points. And now what do we want them to do? This is going to be your fourth shift. We're getting towards the end of the video, so I'm going to be honest with you guys. If your call to action says follow or like for more, or something like check out the link in my bio, it's ineffective. Nobody's doing any of that stuff because what's happening is it's feeling like a hard stop. Essentially, what it feels like is you're slapping a commercial right in the middle of a story. So instead, your call to action should feel like the next scene in a movie. Let me give you an example. So instead of saying follow for part 2, you could say something like, if you've ever felt like this too, I think part 2 is going to hit you even harder. So let's keep this conversation going and I'll see you in the next one. This is going to build anticipation while at the same time inviting community, just like saying follow would, but in a more conversational way. Another one is instead of saying drop an emoji if you agree, a better way to say something like that would be, I'm curious, has anyone else dealt with something like this before? I want to hear your take and your stories in the comments below, because this is going to prompt a genuine interaction and a genuine conversation. And it's not going to seem so performative like, hey, drop an emoji would. So last one. Instead of saying, click the link in my bio for more, you can say, I've actually put something together to help you navigate this. It's in my bio if you need it. It positions your resources like a helpful gift, not like a mandatory thing. Your call to action should feel like a generous offer, or like a continuation on the value that you have already provided in the video. It should never really feel like a hardcore command. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Let me know if it does. Ultimately, they should be conversational. They should be inviting somebody to continue the journey with you or to start the conversation in the comments. So let's recap your 2025 content framework. This is your blueprint. Step 1, create a story theme that replaces your content pillars. Let your audience follow the arc of your journey or the vibe of your message instead of making it feel like they're following a checklist of topics. 2, your hooks are going to spark curiosity. They're not going to spark panic or a sense of extreme urgency. You're going to invite people into your world by sharing a relatable moment or a self-revelation. 3, your talking points needs to have some soul to it. You're going to share your story, share your feelings, share your shifts. Be a human, not a mannequin reading talking points. And then 4, your call to action should guide, not beg. Offer the next step as a continuation to the conversation that you already had in the video. And this whole framework will help your content cut through all of the clutter and make it have an actual real impact. It's about creating an emotional feeling, building trust with your audience, and making them feel like they're being seen. I need you to remember that in this new wave of content creation, your audience is the hero of their own story, but your brand is what helps them get there. Now, we've just scratched the surface here. Every Saturday, we're going to take a deeper dive into content creation. We're going to be talking strategy. We're going to be talking marketing and building a brand that actually resonates and grows in 2025 and beyond. So if you're tired of the generic advice and endless hustle without any connection, babes, I got you. So let's make this a conversation. I want you to drop a comment and tell me, what part of your content strategy are you looking to reset first? Is it your storytelling theme, your hooks, your talking points, or your call to actions? I genuinely want to know, because I can create videos that'll help you guys address whatever your pain points are. And hey, if this helped even just a little bit, do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It's a super simple way to let me know that strategy videos like this are things that you guys are interested in. And if you want to be a part of the rest of this Strategy Saturday series, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and press the bell notification so you don't miss the next episode. And I will see you guys here next Saturday. Love you. Bye.